We'd only been home for 2 hours when I noticed something was off. My daughter, usually the one to excitedly unpack her bags, hang up her souvenirs, and chatter about every tiny moment, just stood there, staring at her bedroom closet like it had wronged her. When I asked what was wrong, she whispered without blinking, "Don't open it." It followed us. That sentence hit me like a punch in the chest. We'd just come back from a quiet cabin getaway deep in the mountains. No internet, no distractions, just us, finally trying to reconnect. After everything we'd been through, we needed it. Especially after I pulled us out of homelessness. Just last year, we were sleeping in shelters and public parks. People used to look through us like we didn't matter. Some mocked us. Some even filmed us for their social experiment videos. They didn't know who I really was or what I was hiding. So I didn't take her fear lightly. I told her it was okay, that maybe she just had a bad dream or something. But she shook her head harder. "It's not a dream. I saw it. It was smiling at me through the crack." That night, she refused to sleep in her room. The next day, I decided to open the closet. At first, everything seemed normal. Clothes, a couple of shoes, a half-open suitcase. But then I noticed something strange, a pine needle. Just one, laying perfectly centered on the closet floor. Then another. Then more. That made no sense. The cabin had been surrounded by pine trees, but we cleaned up before we left. How did pine needles end up inside her closet, buried under her clothes? I reached in to move her suitcase. And that's when I heard it. A faint giggle. Not playful. Not human. I froze. I waited. Listened. Silence. But the scent hit next. That same cold, earthy smell from the basement of the cabin. The one we never explored. The one the owner warned us not to open. And then, in the suitcase, I found something that didn't belong to us. A doll. Old. Worn. One button eye. Its face was stained. Its dress torn. My daughter never played with dolls. She hated them. Always had. But this one had her name stitched on the collar in red thread. I shut the closet and didn't say a word. Not yet. That night, I went through the cabin photos we'd taken. Dozens of pictures. Us in the living room. Us by the lake. Us making s'mores. But then one photo stopped me cold. In the background, just barely visible through the window, there was a face. Pale. Elongated. Smiling. I zoomed in. The same button eyes. The same crooked smile. The doll's face, but human-sized. I felt like the air was being sucked out of the room. I needed answers. So, I did something I hadn't done in years. I reached out to the man who used to own the land the cabin was built on. He didn't say much. Only one sentence. "She chose your daughter because she's kind." I demanded he explain. He hung up. That night, I finally told my daughter. I opened the closet. Her eyes welled up with tears. "She told me you would." For the next week, strange things started happening. The closet would creak open by itself. Pine needles appeared in our living room. The air inside her bedroom stayed cold, no matter how high we turned the heater. And the doll? It kept moving. Every morning, it would be in a different place. But one thing stayed the same. That smile. That smile that seemed to know me. Now here's where things turn. You see, I wasn't always poor. Before the collapse, before the lies that got me blacklisted, before the world turned its back, I had everything. Real estate, tech, hidden vaults of crypto. But none of that mattered when the wolves came for me. So I disappeared, hid my true identity, waited until I could rebuild. And during the time we were homeless, we stumbled onto a pattern, a network of abandoned places with symbols and markings, hidden messages, secrets passed down for those who still remembered. And inside one of those places, beneath the dirt, I found something that was never supposed to exist. Not gold, not money, a binding, a promise sealed in blood, hidden centuries ago, something tied to the land where that cabin stood. I never understood what I'd awakened. Until now. 2 nights ago, my daughter vanished. No sound, no scream, nothing, except the doll, sitting in the middle of her bed, both button eyes missing. and her voice, still echoing in my ears. It followed us. Now I've returned to the cabin. The basement door is no longer locked. I walk down, holding nothing but a flashlight and her favorite stuffed animal. I hear breathing that isn't mine, a whisper that says, "You should have stayed hidden." But I'm not afraid anymore. Because if this thing wanted my daughter for her kindness, it's about to meet what a father will do when the world has already taken everything from him. I didn't survive the streets, rebuild an empire in silence, and protect ancient knowledge just to lose her. It doesn't know who it messed with. I step into the dark, and the door slams shut behind me. And if I don't return, know this. The closet wasn't empty. And monsters don't always hide. Sometimes they wait. And sometimes they smile.